I suspect, just off the top of my head here, is because he was focusing on the religious leaders' hypocrisy. You see, it was the hypocrisy of the religious leaders colors and taints the idea of God. In fact, other places in the Bible, God talks about these leaders as profaning his name, the name of God. And so if the solution, if the perfect solution to evil is actually intrinsic change within a person, when they put their faith in God or in Jesus Christ to make that change, then religious hypocrisy is actually a major threat, a major problem, a stumbling block, an obstacle in many people's minds. And it is to this day. I mean, I hear so much, so many objections about religious hypocrites. That's one objection to Christianity, but another problem is what we might call culture-led Christianity, which is just basically a different kind of God that's been molded to be acceptable. If Jesus were here today, I think he would certainly, I mean, we always think of the legalistic, rule-driven, expectation-driven type of Christian who has lots of rules and regulations, and he would certainly address that. But those I find today are more rare. What is very common are, on the other side, the progressive Christians, the culture-led Christians, where these would be people who are led by culture, and their view of God is led by culture and what culture finds acceptable. And this actually is like a decoy from people actually having a relationship with God, because they can have a form of Christianity that actually is very appealing because we're all shaped by our culture, but it's not going to lead to a relationship or a Christ-led form of Christianity. So this is why I think back in the day, he hardly said virtually anything about the Romans who were in power and committing all this colonialism, slavery, human rights, atrocities, virtually nothing about that, and a ton about the religious hypocrites who had this religion that did not lead to a relationship and intrinsic change within the individual. And I think that's why, because intrinsic change is the most important thing if we want to see change. And the religious hypocrites are one of the major obstacles to that prevent people from going the real road.